you to our REAP breakfast this morning. It's the Retention Expansion Assistance Program. We have this once a year. And so I want to thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedules to be here today. I think you'll be your hard work and dedication is what drives the success for our community, so you'll be glad that you came. I want to recognize our board members that are here today. We have Larry Elkins, that is our chairman. Patrick Lund is our vice chairman. And then we have Orville Armstrong and Jeremy Jones that's here. And Charles Johnson. The restrooms are in the back of the room as you came in if you didn't know where they was at. I also want to thank Holston Electric for allowing us to use their facility and for Hello Springs Inn for making our delicious breakfast this morning. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. I think Chastity England from the Director of Member Services here at Holston Electric is first up.
Good morning, everybody. I was really weak. Let's try it again. Good morning, everybody. I know everybody's trying to eat and enjoy the great breakfast that we have over here. I'll be very brief this morning. After I speak, Shari with TVA will be up here talking to you a little bit more. I want to go over just some basic information with Holston. I'm Chastity. As Rebecca said, I'm the Director of Member Services for Holston Electric, Holston Connect. We also have in the back with us this morning Jeffrey Gunter. He's the Director of Network Administration, and we'll touch on that in just a little bit. And Dwight Brooks, he is our Director of Electric Operations. So those folks that are here with me this morning, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us after the meeting. We'll be glad to talk to you. I want to talk this morning right off the bat and tell you a little bit about a rate increase. So several of you have either heard this in the community or you may have read it already. There is a rate increase expected effective October 1st. That rate increase will be, of course, effective October 1st. We want you to know, primarily, we are here for you. If you have questions on your bills or how that may affect your bills, that's what we're here for. So we want to open that up and let you know. Kim Cobb is our billing supervisor. She is out in a meeting this week, so she's not able to be here. But I have laid my cards, my business cards back here at the back table. Feel free to grab one of those and contact us and let us help you work through that so that you know how that may impact your bill. So we'll look at those individually. To summarize, TVA's rate increase is also effective October 1st. It's a wholesale rate increase and it'll be 5.25%. So on average, you can expect maybe 3 to 4% increase if you have any investment credits on your account. Those investment credits, that will not increase. So again, we can talk through that and that will affect each account individually. So the article that you're going to see in the Tennessee magazine that will come out for the October edition, that is really speaking more to the residential, small commercial, and lighting impacts. So when you read that, you know, what I tell you today, and when you read that article, please don't get those confused, so know that there is a difference. Also want to mention Holston Connect. I've laid some brochures out at each seat. We have Holston Connect phone, video, and data services available to our community. So anyone that has Holston Electric Services, we also provide Holston Connect to you. Know that the businesses or commercial accounts, we have several of those that have had great success in saving money. So if your business is not already or your industry is not already signed up with us, please let us take a look at that with you as well to see if we can save you some money there. So we have over 14,000 customer accounts now with Holston Connect. So very, very good success rate with that. We're local. I think that's very important to mention to our community. That is a service that we provide locally. So we have 24/7 support with that, that we can get out to your business and get issues taken care of very quickly. I want to go ahead and introduce Shari Buckner. She is the interim director for the East Area Regional Relations with TVA, and she's going to speak to you just a little while.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
That's good. That's good. I'm just going to do a quick overview of TVA. As Chastity mentioned, the rate increase, that was one thing I was going to cover, but kind of high level, what's going on with TVA, and then Tim's going to talk a little bit about some of our economic development programs. So as you guys know, TVA is the largest, nation's largest public power provider. We serve about 10 million people in 7 states through our local power companies. So internal to TVA, we call it our 3 E's. Our primary focus with TVA is energy, environment, and economic development. So we strive every day to provide affordable, reliable, resilient power for the region through our 153 local power companies, and also we have 59 direct serve customers. So these are large industrial customers or federal installation like the Oak Ridge DOE lab there. We deliver low-cost feasible power. We work with our power rates to provide low cost while maintaining reliability. And our mission's unchanged since 1933. We work to make the life better for the people of the Tennessee Valley. So that's an important part of everything we do. We also have a mission of service for the environment and the natural resources, including our waterways and shorelines. You guys have a lot of our natural, the rivers and the lakes up here. We manage those. We provide flood control, recreation, power production, and navigation on our environmental obligations. As I said, we serve 10 million people. We don't receive any federal appropriations. We haven't received any since the 90s. So everything we do is from our power revenue. We have our residential rates are the 25 or 75% lower than the top 100 utilities in the United States. Our industrial rates are 95% lower than the top 100 utilities in the United States. We pay 5% of our power revenue. That's not our net income. 5% of our power revenue goes to in lieu of tax payments or tax equivalent payments that funnel back through the states and into the local economy. We serve 7 states, so most of you guys know we serve most of Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, North Georgia, a little bit of North Carolina, and a little bit of Virginia. So what we call the Valley consists of 7 states. Through our management of the Tennessee River, we prevent about $300 million of flood damage each year. Excuse me. We have about 50 million tons of goods that are shipped up and down the Tennessee River. If you're down around Knoxville, down around Chattanooga, you see barges on the river all the time, and a lot of industries import things there. We contribute $12 billion to ecotourism and recreation through our dams and reservoirs and public lands. We employ about 10,000 full-time employees right now. I think in our heyday we had about 50,000, but we're down to about 10,000 now. And I was telling somebody the other day, pretty much anything you can think of to do, TVA probably has a job title like that. For example, we have biologists, we have geologists, archaeologists, we have all kinds of engineers, technicians, IT people, finance, accounting, marketing, any type of job. We also have a very robust craft and labor people at our plants. We have pipe fitters, welders, electricians, very, very strong in the craft. And that's one thing we see in the future. I know everybody's concerned about workforce development and how we're employing people in the future. That's one thing we see a deficit in the valley is a lot of the craft laborers. So we're working real hard with a lot of the community colleges to get some of those people ready for work. We are also one of the top 10 military-friendly employers in the United States, and we're real proud of that. Most of you guys know about a little bit about our generating plants, but we're real proud of our portfolio. Our portfolio has a pretty good mix of a variety of generating assets. So we operate 17 natural gas plants, and John Sevier is the closest one to you guys up here. We have 3 nuclear power plants with 7 units of production. So that's Browns Ferry, Sequoia, and Watts Bar. We have 30 hydroelectric dams that we operate, 1 pump storage plant, which is Raccoon Mountain near Chattanooga. We have 4 fossil plants right now, 13 solar sites, and 1 diesel generation site. The one thing we're striving for, and you probably see this in the paper, are clean energy goals. We are trying to, we are the nation's leader in carbon reduction. Since 2005, we've had a 58% reduction in carbon emissions, and that's one of the nation's largest reductions. Today, about 55%, or in our normal year, about 55% of our generation is carbon free. So about 42% of our mix is nuclear, about 10% is hydro, so that's of course carbon free. We have 30% gas and about 15% coal right now, and then about 5% solar and wind. Now, wind is real tricky in Tennessee. The best places for wind are in the Great Smoky Mountains, which we don't have any wind turbines up there. And so a lot of our wind that we buy is through purchase power agreements with companies in the Midwest, Illinois, where we import our wind. But we're also working hard to add solar, solar projects to our system. So we're in the process. Our goal is to have 10,000 megawatts of solar. So to put that in perspective, our system, our generating capacity is about 35 megawatts. So we're striving to add 10,000 megawatts between now and 2035 of solar. And right now we have about 4,000 megawatts of projects in the works right now to add solar to our system. So we're being real aggressive about that, but also knowing that we've got needs, we've got capacity constraints right now with some of our generation, at least until we get a couple more of our gas turbines online. So we're trying to balance the demand with the need to have clean energy and the need to keep reliability at the front foremost. And so that's all I was going to cover. And well, I guess lastly, we have one of the largest transmission systems in the United States. We have over 16,000 miles of transmission lines throughout the valley, which is about 80,000 square miles that we cover. So that's all I have. I'm going to turn it over to Tim, unless anybody has any questions. And Larry, you can't ask any more questions.
Hey, good morning, everybody. If we haven't already met, my name is Tim Tidwell. I work for TVA. I'm the regional field representative for economic development, specifically working in the northeast part of the Tennessee Valley. So I work with about 15 counties in northeast Tennessee and southwest Virginia. Thank you to Rebecca and Chastity and the Holston team for hosting us again this year, for inviting me back. I appreciate that. Great to see, I know several of you, it's great to see a lot of familiar faces. Almost all of you have heard my spiel before, so I'm going to keep it really brief, and certainly be happy to entertain any questions, after this or after the meeting. So what we do in economic development, what I do on a day-to-day basis, is work very hands-on in those 15 counties. We work obviously very closely with the IDBs, Chambers of Commerce, other economic development organizations. And then, of course, everything we do is in partnership with our local power companies like Holston Electric. So everything we do and everything we offer is a point of partnership between TVA and, in your case, Holston Electric. We have lots of different programs for industry specifically in economic development, and also, even though it's not in my specific department, we do a lot of energy efficiency programs through what's called the Energy Right program. What I work on quite a bit, and most of you are familiar with, if you're not, I think I would like you to consider looking at our economic development program called the VIP investment credits. Several of y'all participated in this already. These are economic development credits that appear on your monthly electric bill. If you're not already in the program, we should talk if you have more than 25 employees, you have electric demand monthly of at least 250 kW. So if you meet those two criteria, we probably ought to sit down and talk, because the third criteria, and we call them investment credits, if you're investing in your facility over the next 5 years, your capital investment, if it meets a certain level, will qualify you for these credits that can save you generally somewhere between 5 and 10% on your power bill each month. So really great program. I should have looked this up. I don't know exactly how many of Holston's customers are in this program, but it's numerous, probably about 8 to 10 industries that are in this community that are already in this program. So if you're not in the program, talk to me afterward. We'll be glad to sit down with you and see if you can qualify. And then the other thing I'll mention real briefly, and again, I'm not the expert on this, but if you are doing anything in the area of energy efficiency, we have specific programs that can help pay for LED lighting retrofits, conversion to electric forklifts, things of that nature. So the bottom line is, we're here to try to help you in a partnership with Holston and with Rebecca and their team. If there's anything you can think of that's energy related, or even some things that are maybe you don't think, that don't obviously come to mind because you think TVA may not be involved in, let's talk and see if there's ways that we can try to help your industry. So, thank you.
So I'm gonna bring up Lynn Tolley. She's the regional director of Northeast Tennessee. I've been visiting quite a few of our industries lately, and if you have not had a visit from us, then we will be calling you to set up a visit. But we just come and have a conversation with you, just kind of see if there's anything that she or I can do for you as an industry, and so Lynn is going to give a speak on the things that she can offer.
Sure. Again, I'm Lynn Tolley. I'm here in the Northeast area. My district actually runs the 8 counties of Northeast Tennessee, and so Hawkins County includes that. Allison is gracious enough to work with me, and we are a good team together. So if you don't see me, you'll likely see Allison. That being said, like I say, one of the things that the state is very focused on is growing jobs. We know that, we are also looking for new business, but we know that the majority of our business comes from existing business. And so what we try to do is to help our existing businesses grow. So that's growing in personnel, that's growing in sometimes space. We help folks relocate, we help folks expand. We support your training and your workforce costs and needs when you're looking to bring in new personnel. Across the state thus far, just to give you a few stats, but not to bore you, we have landed 47 projects year to date. And again, remember that most of those are going to be existing business expansions. We have 6,500 year to date new jobs committed to the state of Tennessee. So again, those are across the state. They are a variety of different wages. The average salary wage of those 6,000 jobs is somewhere around $27 an hour. Now that sounds crazy high. I know this in rural Tennessee, but again, remember, we're talking about Nashville, Memphis, all the way to Churchill. So we're really talking a pretty wide variety. We do want to see the higher job salaries, however, because we all know that costs are rising, and we want people to be able to afford to support their families. Our biggest mission, really and truly, is to change families by making sure that they have a good and strong job. And so that's what we're really invested in doing. We do land about 53% year to date jobs in rural counties. So we have a specific focus on rural counties. The governor has continued to say that, he continues to push that. That is something that we are very interested in. Hawkins is one of our rural counties. We continue to work here. We have worked with quite a few of you thus far, and we hope to continue to do that and continue those relationships. In addition to that, there are some new things that have come online. There is a new nuclear fund. I know that that's been in the news. And the governor has set aside specific monies for nuclear and projects that are related to nuclear power generation. And so that's in support of TVA, that's in support of our economy. We have done this in the past for things like EV, electric vehicles. We have done this in the past for, some other things, and we do continue to see strides there. Right now, I think we are, if not number one, I think we're still number one though. I think we're still number one in the Southeast for EV manufacturing. I know that we were recently rated by Site Selectors magazine, I'm trying to remember the name of the magazine, as number 3 in the states to do new business in. So again, as Tennessee continues to stay in the top, we want to stay there. Now, let's bring that a little closer to home. So what do we do with you all specifically? We have a variety of different opportunities for both cash reimbursement grants and then tax credits. A lot of what we do are these cash reimbursement grants. Again, they are primarily for things like, and again, let me say if you qualify, they are primarily for things like job training, economic development expansion, which includes additional product lines. It includes additional space expansions to your current facility and or relocations. It includes new locations if you've got a supplier that's moving in, those sorts of things. And we've also got an infrastructure grant. Again, assuming you qualify, and we can talk more about what those qualifications look like separately, but if you qualify, those are cash reimbursement grants. So again, we will actually give your company money, and that's nice to be able to say. In addition to that, there are tax credits, and that's really a tax avoidance program. Tennessee's already a low tax state. But one of the taxes that we do have are taxes on businesses through franchise and excise fees. That liability can be reduced, again, depending on qualifications, for things like machinery costs. So industrial machinery costs, they can be reduced by job creation through our jobs tax credit, and you can also receive the sales tax exemption. If your accountants and the people that file your taxes are not in the state of Tennessee, I would encourage you to come see us. A lot of times they miss these state tax credits, and they're missing out on money that could be saved by your company. So please, please, please come see us and let us talk to them, because that's just one of those things that's easy to miss if you don't necessarily live in Tennessee and you don't hear about it all the time. That's a very brief overview. I can get into details with you individually. Allison can do the same. Just let us know. We appreciate being able to be here. Thank you, Rebecca, for hosting us. We appreciate y'all and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Lynn. Okay, so we're going to get into the education portion of the presentation this morning. Charles Johnson is the campus coordinator from TCAT that's located in Phippsbend and Rogersville. That's a hidden gem up there. He has a lot that he can offer to all of our industries, and so he's going to come up and speak on that now.
This is the few minutes size right here. I am honored to be included in any meeting like this. And my wife told me you better do an outline, because some of the industrial board members can tell you once I start talking about TCAT, sometimes I can't hush.
We're on schedule. I mean, we're above schedule. So
Yeah.
we
There you go. Y'all are in for it. Let's tear this up. I want to start out by an experience that I had yesterday at Cherokee High School. We work very closely with the Hawkins County schools. I was a teacher administrator I've was that for 32 years, but in Hawkins County from 2003 to 2018. And so I've invested in the students in Hawkins County, and my school does now. I still see some of those. I have, right today, some students that I had in middle school at our facility in Fifth Bend. And I'm glad Rebecca told you where it was located, because a lot of people ask me, or say to me, we didn't know it was up here. We didn't know about this place. Well, we want to get it out there. And if you're looking for something, there are two about 80,000 pound billboards driving around this region pretty much every day that show you where we are. So yesterday at Cherokee, it was application day for seniors. So we go there. There are 3 other colleges and myself. I'll get to the bottom line. At one point, I had 4 tables of students filling out enrollment forms for TCAT. I wanted to talk to those students. I wanted to engage with those students. I wanted to find out what they wanted to do. I wanted to be able to answer their questions. I just wasn't there to be available for them if they, had some kind of a problem or whatever. So I wanted them to sit down and us to have a conversation. This reflects the good work that Sept and his group is doing in the Hawkins County schools. We have young people that are totally interested and want to invest their life in what I call the technicals and the trades. And we need to make sure that we give them every opportunity we can. So I'll get this out of the way with that. We are looking at expansion at our facility. And I'll be honest with you, that's about all I can tell you. I'll get into the programs in just a minute. And I want to expand. We need to grow. At any one time, we average between 85 and 125 students in their building. Once we get 125 students in their building, it's pretty full. And that includes dual enrollment sometimes. I have about 25 dual enrollment students that's coming to my campus right now from Volunteer High School and Clinch High School. So we want to make sure that we have always keep a good partnership with them. So early on, I retired from TC 2018, so I started this position in 2019. And so early on, I told everywhere I went, we want to be a good partner. We want to be that middle piece between what students do in high school and what they end up doing for a living. And that's our goal. If I had to boil it down, that's our goal. That's our purpose for existing, okay? The students we have in our school, they're all ages, of course. We average between 85 and 98% placement of those students in what they are trained in. What do we want our students to look like? We want them to show up to work. We want them to be a good employee. We want them to know that what they are doing is invested in the area in which they live. We want them to stay close to home, but we want them to make a living. I'm thinking of a young lady that is a single mom and for those of us that we think back to where we came from and maybe how we struggled potentially while we were in school or some part of our life. I talked to her just this past week, and her first real job, we all remember that one, when that first real job came along, and she's making anywhere from $950 to $1,100 a week. Don't tell me that's not changed her life and her daughter's life. It has. So how does she come about that? By sacrificing, by coming to our school, by working hard, and that's what we want our students to do. We do hold them accountable. There was some accountability discussions back here a while ago before we started. We want them to be accountable. We want them to be accountable, first of all, to themselves and what an employee needs to look like. We spend a lot of time looking at the other part of our society. Sometimes we need to focus on, and it was said back here a while ago, sometimes we need to focus on what's good and what's working. And my belief is, because like I said, I used that retired word there a while ago, my belief is that TCAT and Hawkins County schools are working. It's working for our young people, and it's getting them interested. I like nothing better than to sit there yesterday and listen to 2 young men, 2 seniors in high school, talk about their opportunities. And that's what we want to do. So let me focus in on truck driving for just a minute. That's the bell cow. That's what, that there has been people in this room that has done a lot of work. And I applaud you for that because it has opened up many opportunities. We're in the midst right now of our 11th class. Okay? That's how new we are. Our first class, we had 4 students. I'm thinking, this might not be good. This month, I will run 17 students through that program. We had a call 2 days ago from a gentleman that lives in North Carolina that wants to send his son to our school, put him up in a hotel while he's here for that 6 weeks so he can become a truck driver. Everybody in the room knows how we need truck drivers. Now I'm going to tell you, if you want to get excited about something, think about that. And that's right here in Hawkins County. You say, well, will that person stay here? I don't know. We have a lot of our drivers. That's the 98% part of our placement. A lot of our drivers are in this local region. We serve 8 counties. TCAP Morristown does. So a lot of those people have stayed in this region. Now they are taxpayers. Now they are productive citizens in our economy in whatever county they have chosen to live in. So I'm excited about that. I want to see that grow. Our other classes, same thing. What we do, we talk to students up front. That's one of my roles. Where do you want to end up? Your year or your 16-month investment you're making in us, where do you want to end up? So we start looking at where those students would fit in and where they can be placed and where they would do the most good for their personality and their work ethic and what they're doing. But we do try to work on all of that. Okay? Now, anytime that you want to come to our school, you're welcome. Anytime you need us, all you got to do is reach out to me. 423-417-1895. That's my number. And so anytime you want to need anything from us, we're there to help. I'm sending my instructors out to industry to find out what do we need. When we talk about expansion, it's good to expand, but we want to make sure that we expand in the right way and in the right arenas. In other words, that we then can help industry and that we can be a good partner for industry. And I truly mean that when I say that. That's not a buzz phrase to get your attention. I truly mean that when I say that. We want to be a good partner. Use us any way you see fit. Talk to me about anything you want to see done, and we'll see if we can get it done. Like I said, I'm honored to be in front of you. That's a little snapshot. This is probably a record for me. That's a little snapshot of what we do. But I'll be glad to talk to any of you individually that want to talk about it. Okay? Thank you.
I'll mention, if you need to get in contact with any of our speakers today, my card is inside each folder. You can just holler at me, call me, email me, and I'll be glad to get you in touch with me. But next up is Sept. He's the district-wide work-based learning coordinator for Hawkins County Board of Education. Now that's a mouthful.
I usually tell everybody I'm the WPL guy, and they go, what is that? So I have to explain what work-based learning is. I know most of you, but if you don't know me, my name's Sept. I'm the work-based learning coordinator for Hawkins County Schools, and she said, it's always tough to follow Charles because he's so powerful as a speaker. But like you said, the key word that I took out of Charles' bit, and that he is right on, and not only does TCAT do it, but we do it with Hawkins County, we want partnerships. That's what we strive to do. We want to do whatever is best for our students, and if we can get you as a partner, please do so. I mean, anything and everything that you can do to help us, to help you, is always a good thing. If you don't know what work-based learning is, I'll just generally give you an overview of it, but if you've ever heard of the old co-op, what we had back whenever I was in school, it's similar to that. What a student can do is, like dual enrollment, they can get high school credit while on the job getting hands-on training. So that can be 2 ways. It can be a CTE student that's in their 3rd or 4th year of their program of study, to where they're training is to a level where they can kind of roll in, or it could be a career interest. We have kids that are not in CTE that does work-based learning, or that is in CTE and have a career interest outside of their program of study. Just this past year, I had a student that was a culinary student, all 4 years of high school. His senior year, he came up to me and he said, I think I want to try vet. That's out of left field, but it worked out. He's now in veterinary science program at LMU. We've got several success stories like that. Robbie Miller just told me yesterday morning we had a student placed at Mundette this past year from Volunteer High School. It was the very first one there. He's now hired on full-time as a maintenance technician. These success stories can just go on and on and on. We have many of them already today, but we need to continue that because like Charles said with that young lady, the example that he gave, we're changing lives that way with work-based learning. But it's also, it gives those students an opportunity to find out whether it is a career interest for them. We had a young lady that went into a vet's office and hit the floor as soon as she saw the first drop of blood and figured out that's not for me. That's okay. That's what work-based learning is. It gives those students an insight and a first-hand experience to go, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Am I truly inspired by this? Or do I want to try something else? So that's what work-based learning can do. But as far as CTE, we have a gamut of programs across our county. We do have CTE now at Clinch School. We've not had that prior. This past year was the first year that we had a person on staff there, so they're going to have industrial maintenance. Once we do the building expansion there, they'll have a full shop set up and everything. At both high schools, we're trying to get to where both the other high schools, Cherokee and Volunteer, we're trying to get all of our programs aligned. Right now we have machine tool at Cherokee that we do not have at Volunteer. But at Volunteer, we also have welding and criminal justice that we don't have at Cherokee. So we're trying to get all of our programs aligned across that. But it ranges from ag, culinary, nursing, business, engineering and design. We have a robotics program at Cherokee, industrial robotics. We have industrial maintenance, welding obviously, engineering, and trying to remember what the other one is. Anyways, within those programs of study, we can cover a lot. We can really have a lot of students out in a lot of different aspects. We've had recent meetings with a lot of healthcare systems. Nursing is a big thing. Our nursing program is very strong, but they also need IT people. They also need maintenance people in those hospitals. We can provide that. So we're looking to partner with anybody and everybody to get these opportunities for our students. I'd be glad to talk with you. I can share any of those other success stories, but that's my spiel. Glad to be here, very blessed that Rebecca asked us to be a part of this. CTE is an exciting world to be in right now because there's a lot of money being thrown around, but it's there because everybody sees that we do need workforce development and we need to make these changes to where we're generating that workforce for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sept. We are way ahead of schedule, so I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but I was going to give an opportunity for maybe Gary Hicks to say anything if he wants to, and Sheriff Lawson.
Rebecca looked at me and she said, we're gonna see if Gary has anything to say. I grew up with Rebecca. She knew I was gonna say yes. I mean, I always tell people I'm a politician and a Baptist, so you just gotta nod and I'll start talking. So, first of all, thank you all for being here. I look across the room and I know there's many sectors represented here in Hawkins County. So let me first and foremost say thank you. Thank you for your investment into our community, and thank you certainly for our investment in our students. As Seth and as Charles were talking, I mean, you guys give our students the ability to go out and make a living, but also to stay here, which we think is very important and we're very proud of. Of course, I'm a product of the Cherokee, the Hawkins County school system, Cherokee High School, and so I'm proud of that. So anytime that I can see students have opportunities to stay here if they want to, I'm always excited to hear about those programs and things like that are going on. So I just want to, I guess, extend the opportunity for you all to reach out to me as well. I know that Rebecca said you can reach out. You all are well represented from Lynn Tully here at the state, ECD, economic development. They do fantastic work all across the board. And so always reach out to Rebecca or certainly to Lynn, but I'm also available as well. and you say, well, what can you help with? I can get you in contact with folks, you know, whether it's at the state or whether it's grants or things of that nature, or anything else that comes across your plate where you think, I just need to ask Gary, you know, we don't even know where to start. Maybe there's some infrastructure needs that you have, and so I'm here to help. It's an honor to serve here in Hawkins County as well as Hancock and Claiborne County. So that's really all I've got. Again, I'll be here, so if you have any questions for me, please, you know, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to speak with you. But thank you all for being here this morning.
Good morning. If all people are following, they get to follow Gary Hicks. Hardest job. Thanks. Anyway, I just want to let you know that it's been an honor to be the sheriff here for my 14th year. Been around for a long, long time. I think it's my 47th year in law enforcement. But I got a great bunch of people working for me. And this past budget year with the county commission was a battle. You know, Hawkins County got a little tax rate, but let me tell you, it's worth it because I had to invest in my employees. If they hadn't, some of the commissioners stepped up, then I would have at least 8 schools without an SRO this year. We already see how much we need school resource officers. Happy today, I have one in every school, and even have extra officers occasionally checking on these schools. And I know that social media, most of it's for the devil, but you know, people, they won't fear the fear factor. And 99% of those things you see on social media, it's just not true. And we had one incident here in Hawkins County where a 12-year-old little girl, it just breaks your heart seeing a small child like that, you know, in handcuffs and stuff. But, you know, they make bad decisions and have to learn from it. It's happened all over East Tennessee, but a lot of this is driven by social media. And where social media played a very important part for us, because as soon as we got the complaint here in Hawkins County, we sent a request into social media. Within 6 minutes, we knew where that residence was. That's quick. Some of the social media dealt with when we hollered for them, they responded. But anyway, just want you to know that the schools here are protected. We're always doing an active shooter. We've done one at First Baptist Church this past weekend. We can do them in your facilities if you want us to. Have your employees, education, what to do with active shooters. They're everywhere now. Just let you know, again, my staff, I got the most highly trained professional officers, I think, in East Tennessee. They work really hard. They're dedicated, and we're here for you. We're here to protect and serve, and we do serve you. We'll do anything we can for you to help you. And we want you to feel safe in your businesses, in your homes, your schools, wherever. But we're all in, and anything I can do, still here for a couple more years, just give me a call. Thank you.